Welcome to another fine MTC Studio mockumentary with the Seekers. They were off on an island adventure. What were they looking for? What would they find?
Of course. Well, hopefully that's going to be somewhere other than our property.
You're saying not to dig in that corner?
Oh, did I say that? Well, what I meant was, feel free to, but I would suggest there's a lot of rocks in that corner.
We felt perfectly safe with our wonderful Nanaimo hosts, Larry and Debbie Sunnis. No, this was not an English murder mystery where we'd be traipsing over the highlands looking for a corpse. We just didn't know what we were looking for, but soon we'd find out. First, Mary thought she'd get some fine art shots at Neck Point. Then it was off to Comox. Mary was driving. She was unsure of a couple things.
Yellow sign, but there's no speed on it. Do I just follow the sign but I still use cruise control?
Yeah. She may have had the cruise control on a bit fast. We survived the drive and set up camp at Kin Beach Provincial Park, where they reminded you that you use the facilities at your own risk. We saw the eagle's nest and we heard the baby eagle, but we never saw the baby eagle. Apparently they were learning to fly. Meanwhile, we still didn't know what we were looking for. Would we ever discover it? Was it this bunny? No, apparently it was a quick series of art shots we were after. The midden we're standing on is evidence of the First Nations settlement that was here. In the 1920s, this land was subdivided and became the Matthews Farm. There are still some fruit trees left from its days as an orchard. In the 1940s, the Kinsmen Club of Comox purchased the land and in 1966 sold it to the BC government for $1 with the caveat that it would remain as a Class C provincial park. We thought we'd hit the road and go back to Parksville, see what was happening. But wait, what's this I see? A headless woman? Is this her head? No matter how hard we photoshopped, it just wouldn't fit. Meanwhile, in Parksville, even the kids were excited.
So, welcome tonight. What are we?
Dancers, apparently.
Find yourself a partner to come and learn to dance.
John and I were quite content to merely watch the proceedings, checking out the Ron Stewart band, while Lynn and Mary cut a rug on the gravel dance floor. Mary wasn't too concerned. She thought it was just time to get some night shots. had the aliens landed? If so, they'd best note the parking regulations. The next morning, we thought, what better way to ruin a walk through the woods than golf? So we repaired to the park at Crown Isle, where they forgot to tell us there was a deer hazard on hole 14. After determining that venison would not be on the lunch menu, it was English muffins. Then it was off to Point Holmes Recreation Area, where they also warned you were at your own risk. One of those risks is overshooting the parking lot. When using the boat rack, if you can't back up a trailer successfully, just get a friend. You may need liability insurance depending upon how many people they hit. But they will eventually reach the water. The yachting set was not helping us in our quest, unless it was for more art shots. And now some photos from my green period. And from the often overlooked brown period, rocks in sun. Time for the chef to whip up another culinary delight. We'd heard of this place called Kai Bay. It's a recreational shellfish reserve. We thought maybe we'd find what we were looking for there, but we ran into a roadblock or two. But first we'd have to get there. Mary was at the wheel. They may be serious about this 30 kilometers an hour. What do you figure?
Well, it doesn't really look too bad right now. Just a little.
Well, they usually mean that you can take them a lot faster. Why don't you try it? These electric cars really have torque. After that impressive bit of driving, it was time to take some photographs. Kai Beach had great vistas. A nice day, but we had to get back. Mary was at the wheel again. Maybe it's not what we're looking for, but who we're looking for. Is this him? Or is he from Skip the Dishes? Apparently not, because the chef was busy making another culinary concoction. I'd like to thank everyone who sent me birthday wishes yesterday for my birthday, but that's nothing compared to what the fine folks of Comox did. They actually got so excited that I would spend my birthday here that they renamed one of their roads after me. But we weren't sure if it was No Exit or Dawn Road. Mary was at the wheel and she was in a hurry to get to Port McNeil. but she did slow down for the clear cuts. And the reason for her big rush to Port McNeill? The pursuit of our quarry across Vancouver Island bore no fruit. We would have to go elsewhere.
Is this a problem?
We'd been scouring the beaches of Comox with no shower facilities. What could we do? Fortunately, the Port McNeill ferry terminal had public showers. What a great idea. Onward. Onward once a slight discrepancy over the shower fee was settled. Then we were free to board the ferry. It's a 45-minute ferry ride and even faster if you fly. Cormorant Island has a long history as a First Nations settlement. All along the waterfront you see the evidence of this. Our congenial hosts Mike and Sandy even had a Korg organ for our amusement. Early to bed, early to rise. It was fishing the next day. Somewhere around here we're going to meet up.
I would imagine.
Yeah, worst case scenario at 9 o'clock I'll phone them and say,
I'm here, yeah.
Where are you? This might be him here. It was, and as I was to discover, he did have a converted trawler. And through the fog, Mary eventually found which one it was. Mary and Sandy went looking for the rarest of creatures, the seagull. They also found the net loft where commercial nets are still repaired. Alert Bay has a lot of things to see, but it was fishing time. This must be our elusive target, the salmon. The humpback whale was also fishing, but they were looking for krill, not salmon. And then the Prince of Wales showed up. They were looking for whales. Any kind of whale.
I can hear them behind me, in front of me, and on my port side. Okay, good to know, yeah. Should be there in 20 minutes.
Well, maybe you'll be there in 20 minutes, but the kayaker's right there right now, and he's ready to race.
Yes, folks, they're lining up for the first Orca Cup. What a race. And they're off. As they come around the first post, the kayaker is chasing the orcas. The orca has a true advantage. He's gaining. What a surprise. Just listen to him paddle. He's past them, but what's this I see?
They've brought in subs.
Is that illegal?
The new racers have certainly upped the game.
No need for a photo finish. The Orcas have clearly won.
A quick victory lap, and they're heading up the straight. With orca activity, we pulled the rods. It was off to a new spot. Porgy knew quite a few spots to look for fish. He'd started fishing with his dad, who was a commercial fisherman.
He had a big boat.
So was he a commercial fisherman too?
All his life.
Yeah?
Yeah. Johnny fished with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got the rods out again near some bluffs. You'll notice the camera. It's there to monitor whale activity. That's a good thing, because whales like salmon. No luck there, so it was time to try another spot. What's this? Are these pirates? After determining that they were, in fact, not pirates, we thought we'd try a little bit of jigging. Go for some halibut, lingcod, rockfish. We caught a lot of rockfish, a lingcod, and occasionally the bottom. But that salmon remained elusive, so we'll have to be back next year. Meanwhile, we still have to get back through the kelp beds, a little bit of fog.
I got no chart. And I said, well, we'll have a look here. I had a look and there weren't many. So I said, what should we do? I said, get some in Rupert. Yeah. And you don't need a chart. And I said, no, not really, but maybe sometimes I might need one. But
in fact, he did have charts. Not that he really needed them because he knew that water in the Alert Bay area so well. And miraculously, through the generosity of Porgy and Don, I left Alert Bay with salmon.
Shooting into the sun won't give you a good picture.
And apparently focusing is quite important too. We'll have to come back and visit again to get that picture. One more sunset? Or was it Northern Lights? And it's back to the city. And the fish and chips were great.